I'm Amy Harbison. Welcome to Seniors Today, a monthly program produced by the Commission on Aging devoted to issues and interests of Montgomery County's older adults. Like all of you, we're adapting to a new Zoom format for the show instead of being live in the studio, so thanks for joining us. Today we're talking with Marla Caplon, who has been spearheading Montgomery County Public Schools food security efforts during COVID-19. We'll hear from her about the work she's been doing to help older adults get emergency food resources during this pandemic. Hi, Marla, thanks for joining us.
Good morning, thank you for having me.
Well, first of all, tell us how your job has shifted since COVID-19. I know you worked in food and nutrition for MCPS, and now you've expanded to a new role. Tell us about that.
So that's a great question. So you're right, my background is in food and nutrition, and I was the director for food and nutrition services for many years, and then moved in to be the director of student wellness. Well, then COVID hit, and the Food Council reached out to me and asked if I would be the liaison to schools to help identify families who might be in need of additional food support. And almost simultaneously, the Food Security Task Force was created, and I was asked to be on the operations team of the Food Security Task Force. Thank you, Montgomery County Public Schools, for allowing me to be up and running and helping our neighbors and our seniors and folks all over the county. So yes, my role has definitely changed.
That's great. So tell us how you specifically have been supporting older adults in getting emergency food resources.
Sure. During phase one, when everybody was told to stay home, it right away became obvious that there was going to be a significant need to increase food support to our seniors. And our Montgomery County Senior Nutrition Program was and is rocking and rolling, but they were unable to fund the support that ended up being needed. And so my first go was to connect with the World Central Kitchen, and they were able to provide us meals in 12 of our senior citizen homes for about 3 months. We knew that the funding was going to run out for the World Central Kitchen to Montgomery County. And by the way, in that endeavor, it was also really important to support local businesses. So we identified local restaurants and connected them with the World Central Kitchen so they could use those restaurants to support our residents. And in 3 months, they served about 30,000 of our senior residents. While that was happening, as I mentioned, we knew funding was going to run out. So we asked for funding and received funding from Montgomery County, and we vetted several restaurants and caterers based on their ability to support us that were culturally diverse, Asian, vegetarian, African, Latina, and American, kosher, who would be ready and to run as soon as the World Central Kitchen. They ended on June 26th. We started on June 29th, and since that time, we've been serving about 3,500 of the residents in 12 locations to current. The other program that I was lucky to be the recipient of is the Farmers to Families program, which provides fresh produce from USDA, from a USDA grant. So many of our senior citizens have also been the recipient of such programs. And again, with partnership with Montgomery County Rec, they've distributed a lot of fresh produce to our senior residents.
Terrific. So we don't know how long the impact of COVID-19 will be felt in our community. If people are experiencing issues related to having enough food, who should they contact?
Well, at this point, they should still contact 311. There are folks on the call center that would be able to direct them. If it's a need for home meal delivery, if it's a need for stable food, for produce, they would be able to sort through that and appropriately provide for those folks.
Terrific. There have been so many organizations that have partnered around the food insecurity issue since COVID-19 began. It's pretty astonishing. I'm wondering if you can say anything briefly about that partnership and who is involved and how, how terrifically ready you are for the future now.
So I have to say, the partnerships, without a doubt, are a silver lining in all of this unprecedented work. A group of people who didn't know each other, who have come together. Many of us have never met each other, but feel like we know each other. Folks in the Department of Recreation, certainly the Food Security Task Force, the Medical Reserve Corps, a gazillion faith-based organizations, just neighborhoods saying that I want to get involved. It's been amazing. I have to tell you, pardon?
I would say a lot of nonprofits too is terrific.
Oh my gosh, a lot of nonprofits, people that are not used to handling food that just said, we want to help our community. It has been amazing getting to know such amazing people. And by all means, the Food Council and those who have always been in the business of feeding people, such as Manna and Nourish Now, and Rainbow and Adventist. It's a very large and a very small group of committed people. But I have to say that a special partnership has developed between the folks in the senior apartment buildings who have been the ones who have been the point of contact. And they've been the ones who receive the food and then turn around and distribute it to the residents. And a special story on Labor Day, when so many of the apartment buildings were closed, one in particular said, yes, I'm off that day, but I'm going to come in because I want to receive and distribute the meals. The residents really enjoy them and they rely upon them. That I know, that to me is like, wow, there really is. There's an incredible dedication and commitment and understanding to the need for food and what's going on in our communities. Yes, to answer your next question, we are working towards our next steps. One of the other things that we've done is Montgomery County has appropriated funds, and many of those partnerships have access to vendor accounts. So we are able to provide them with shelf-stable food and eggs and bread and milk, canned items, those kinds of things that can continue to support our neighbors, including our seniors.
Wow, that's incredible. Well, Marla, thank you so much for letting us understand more what's going around in the county and how lucky we really are in Montgomery County for such an incredible network around food insecurity right now. And for all you and your team have done, we wish you all the best, and thank you for joining us today on Seniors Today.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Well, that's it for Seniors Today. You can access this show and more information about county services for older adults by going to the Montgomery County Senior website at montgomerycountymd.gov/seniors or call the Senior Resource Line at 240-777-3000. Thanks for joining us on Seniors Today.